Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome back to Tekpon. Today our guest is Tommy, the CEO of Golee. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. Very nice to meet you. Please tell
Nice to
us
meet you.
what your company does.
We say that we run amateur sports clubs professionally. It means that we come with our platform and we digitize every single operation that sports clubs need to do during their day. So let's imagine that you are the club administrator. You have to collect money from your member. You have to keep track of all the sports events, such as training sessions and games, and monitor the expiration of the medical examination. You have to do a lot of stuff,
Yes.
like coaches or athletes and families. And once they log into our platform, they find useful functionalities in order to, again, digitize all their operations so they can work with that.
Very, very smart. And what sports do you support?
We started from football because
The most popular.
yeah, and a lot of people that are in my team come from the football world, but actually right now we are open to any sport. We work with over 50 different sports. Dodgeball, even we have clubs from dodgeball. So it's been fun.
Wow. Yeah, very interesting. I imagine big clubs, big football clubs have their own system, right?
Yeah, most of them, like if you talk about the really top clubs, like Juventus or Real Madrid and so on, obviously they have their own operations. In fact, our main target are the amateur or semi-professional sports clubs, not the professional ones. Even though recently we started to collaborate with them because they need a tool in order to monitor the activities of their academies around the world. And the way they do it right now is not. It depends on the clubs, but there is not a standardized way. And we would like also for them to use our software in order to monitor the activities of their academies.
I imagine it improves a lot of productivity in there. So I don't know. Can you share with
Hopefully.
us some use cases?
Yeah, for sure. So, for instance, all the feedback that we have from our clients is very, very good, meaning that they say that we've changed their lives because you have to take into consideration that most of the time the managers at the top of these clubs are doing their job because of their passion.
Yes.
They don't really get a very high salary or reimbursement to do that, and so they're looking for any help they can get, and hopefully we are the ones that provide them useful functionalities. Like for instance, the collecting of the fees that we were talking before. The football season starts in Italy at least in September. And most of the time they're collecting these fees throughout months. And so we had one client saying that by the end of September, usually he used to collect 5,000-6,000 euros because he has to run after all the families and all the athletes, right? But with our Golee payment system, he already reached 40,000 euros in collecting without making any efforts to do so, right? Because it's all automatic.
Well, I imagine you have a great satisfaction helping these passionate people.
Yeah, for sure, because we all come from the world, right?
Yes.
We were first athletes, and some of us also managers of some of these sports clubs. So the thing that it spread our DNA of the company comes from the football world, from the sports world, not the football. Sorry.
I don't know. Can you share with us some top features, some
Yeah.
basic things that you can help them with?
So literally, imagine that again, class administrator, he has to monitor the expiration of medical examination, or collecting fees, or tell them where to go for training sessions, when. Scheduling, exactly. Or again, they have to collect sports data. For instance, they have to write all the details of the training sessions, or collect the main events that are happening during a game, starting team, substitutions, goals, assists,
Yes.
and so on. And they can do that through our software. They can also create their own website or create their own e-commerce. So try to
Selling
imagine
merch,
that.
selling T-shirts.
Exactly. So what
Wow.
happens is that a club gives us their logo and their colors, their main colors, and we personalize for them a set of items, like for instance 4 covers or hats or T-shirts, and they can sell it to their community.
Wow. So nice, so nice. And can you share with us your pricing plans?
My what? Sorry.
Pricing plans. I saw you have.
Yeah,
three
for
pricing
sure.
plans.
Yeah. So there is an entry level, there is free forever, and then eventually clients can upgrade to different modules. One is the medium module that is about 400 euros per year, and the other one, which has all the functionalities, unlocks all the functionalities, is 1,000 euros per year. The pricing, we keep it in low, because obviously if you pay 400 euros per year and you get all the functionalities that you can get from our software, it's not enough. But what we want to do is to be affordable for everybody, because eventually we know, coming from that world, we know that not everybody can sustain lots of, they're in financial pressure all the time, and so we wanted to give him to be an help for them, right?
Very, very nice. And do you have any competitors in this? Are you the first one to do this? How does it work?
Yeah, the sports industry historically has always been an industry where didn't jump completely in the digital area. So because it's been many years that clubs administrators or people who are inside the sports clubs manage their own stuff through pieces of paper or WhatsApp chat. But eventually, also because of COVID, the process of digitization has accelerated a lot. So now finally everybody is open to try new digital solutions. This is why it's still a virgin market. There is not a structured market leader in Europe, at least. But also, like, it's difficult to find them also in the world in general. And yeah, so it's a very good industry to be in. In Italy, we are already market leader. Throughout the next year, we want to consolidate the Italian market even more, and then eventually start our process of internationalization, attacking those countries which are more similar to ours, right? European countries first.
Yeah, sounds great. When did you start the company?
In late 2018, and then eventually we released the first prototypes or the first MVP during 2019, and we had our first clients. And then COVID happened at the beginning of 2020, and obviously it changed everything because it closed sports activities for over 1 year and a half.
Yes.
And finally, back in September 2021, so exactly 1 year ago, everything got back to normal. So everybody was going back to their sports clubs, training sessions and games were not delayed anymore. And so the real traction we're experiencing this year without any problems.
I understand. And were you the only founder, or how many?
Yeah, we are a few founders. Each one of us is specific to some verticals. Like for instance, I'm the CEO, but then there is another co-founder who is our technological guy, another founder who is our sales guy, and another founder who is our financial guy. So yeah, and then eventually, right now we are a team composed of 20 people in all the departments. We are IT department, business and marketing department, and administrative and financial department.
Awesome. And have you raised any funds?
Yes, so far we raised through business angels, and right now we want to consolidate our metrics in order to do our next funding round in more or less 1 year from now.
Do you have any advice for people who want to find these angels?
To raise money
Yes,
is very,
find,
very
find these
difficult.
business angels.
Yeah. So it's very, very difficult. The most important thing is to be to know them personally, right? It doesn't happen from morning to evening that they decide to invest. It's more of a process of meeting them and letting them know what you're doing, updating them on all the steps, and obviously at an early stage, one of the most important thing is that they can trust you personally, because obviously there are a lot of projects around the world and lots of founders, and most of the time, what I see at the beginning, investors decide to invest because of the founders.
Yes.
And the project, but
In
first
the
before
early
because of
stage,
the
at least.
founders.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm talking about the early stages. Obviously, after early stages, the only thing that counts is metrics.
Yeah, you're right. And what is your biggest challenge? Do you think this was your biggest challenge, raising funds, or any other?
And I mean, so the most sensitive areas are obviously fundraising. Also, the challenges that the market has, for instance, the barrier for digital transformation is still present in our market. And another one that nobody really talks about, but is the creation of your team. I believe this is the most difficult one, because you need to find the right people at the right time. You need to build with them a personal relationship, so that in the good moments everybody is happy, but in hard moments, then you can really do a great job because you trust each other. And if this doesn't happen, or if there are some of these people who are going, against the company, then everything gets more and more difficult. And this is very sensitive. I mean, it's very important to invest in that.
And do you have any tips for hiring? Key learnings that
And
you learned?
I'm not sure. So at the beginning, our hiring process was more like I know these people personally, and once I like them or we like them, we'll try to include them in our team. The tips are that at an early stage, it's more important to get the right people in terms of the personal stuff.
Liking each other.
Yeah, exactly, and trusting each other. And then eventually, if you are a very high-tech company, like if you want to send some stuff in the space, or if you want to do something very, very technical, then it's very important to get vertical competences. But like most of the time, if you are in a project that is about e-commerce or is about management software systems or something less deep tech, then probably the best thing that you want to do is to get the people that you can trust working with you.
Absolutely. What is your background story before founding Golee? What did you do?
So, first of all, I was a football player all my life,
Wow.
and when I was younger, until I was 18 years old, I used to play for the youth sector of a professional football team here in Italy, and then eventually it's called the Rimini. He's in the second league. I don't know if you follow football, but in
the past.
okay, in that team there were Handanovic, for instance, or Matri,
Okay.
like people who then eventually end
Yes.
up playing in Series A or
Nice.
in big teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved to the United States because I moved there because of the university. I did all my university, my bachelor degree over there, playing for the soccer team of the university. And I stayed there for a few years, and then eventually moved back to Italy. And in this period of time, I experienced the way the U.S. market was living the college sport. That was incredible, right? So you had people at the stadium, videos of the games, and statistics of the players and stuff like that. When I moved back to Italy, it looked like I came back to the past, right?
Yes.
Completely different story. And so that was when I started working. Also, I worked for different companies in the United States, in Spain, and in Italy, in different sectors: financial, sales, and marketing. And so eventually, when I moved back to Italy, I realized that maybe it was a good idea to start something that could help to increase the value and the visibility of the sports world, starting from the youth sectors.
Yes. Lovely story. And would you like to stay in Italy, to live in Italy?
I'm not sure. It's not a question that I ask myself. For now, I need to be in Italy, and then eventually, whatever happens in the future, there's not such problem. I mean, exactly.
Yeah. What's your favorite software? A software that you use?
My favorite software. So in Golee we use some softwares for internal, let's say, coordination. We use Trello, for instance, to do our jobs. We use Mixpanel in order to track our metrics. And I would say those are the ones that we use the most, or I use the most, and that I like them both very much.
Super. Is there anything else that you want to tell us today?
I'm not sure. Lots of things probably, but maybe another thing that changed completely about myself and about the company is the fact that I met lots and lots of founders and CEOs here in Italy that have their own story, or I read about them through their books. And once you start this path, you understand lots of more things. First of all, you understand how difficult it really is to build something valuable.
Yes.
And but you understand that the path that they've gone into is kind of similar of what you're going through. So each one of us has gone through the same stuff, and so it's very. It's hard, but at the same time, you're not alone, right?
Yes.
And so they will help you a lot in building your confidence and also in exchanging ideas, because it's useful to have these kind of contacts, also to get their feedback and get their advices.
Great piece of feedback. I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really grateful, and I wish you all the best with your startup.
Thank you very much, Christian, and good luck also for you with your project. That is very interesting.